Is Reddit really a viable marketing channel for your business? And if so, how can you get it to work effectively? Well, over the past year, after constant experimentation, we've started generating consistent leads and inquiries from Reddit and recently closed our first deal from Reddit. So it definitely seems like it's possible and there are definitely buyers on Reddit. However, one thing that I've learned the hard way is that it's very, very different to other platforms because of the very community-based nature of the platform. And if you don't respect the community, you will be absolutely annihilated.
Get out right now! Security!
So in this video, I'm going to be showing you how to use Reddit as an organic marketing strategy for your business, the do's and don'ts on the platform, who it's for and who it's not for, and how you can use it to create an evergreen stream of leads for your business. Let's get straight into it. Okay, so it goes without saying, one of the first things you're going to want to do when exploring any new marketing channel for your business is to make sure that your target audience, your ideal customer persona, is actually on the platform and using the platform. So first thing that I would say here, and something to bear in mind with Reddit in particular, I don't believe from what I've seen that Reddit is going to necessarily be suitable for kind of low value e-commerce or D2C brands where they're selling a very low value item. That's not to say it can't work at all, but it's going to take a lot longer and a lot more effort to start seeing tangible results from the inputs you put into the platform. If you're, however, selling B2B or you're selling a service or something very high value where you don't necessarily need volume of transactions, I believe Reddit can work extremely well in those instances. But again, this depends if your target audience are going to be on the platform. So one of the first things you will want to do is come onto Reddit. So come onto the homepage of Reddit. So just reddit.com, and you can type in here any topic, whatever industry you're in, whatever your product or service relates to, you can type that in. So for us as a marketing agency, I can type in things like advertising or SEO. What this will then do is it will bring up communities, also known as like subreddits, on the platform. Subreddits are basically the micro communities that exist within the platform. So you'll see we've got subreddits called PPC. You'll see we've got subreddits of advertising. So we can then explore these further, and you can also, by hovering over them, see exactly how many people are in here. So we can see in this advertising subreddit, we've actually got 183,000 members, 11 of which are online. Now, the other thing you'll want to do is start taking some more kind of qualitative insights from the kind of people you've got on the platform. One of the things that I observed as an example when I was looking through advertising as a subreddit, there were actually people saying, I've just been made the head of marketing department at this organization. I've been given 100K a month in advertising budget. Where would you recommend I spend this? And inviting questions from other posters. So that says to me, okay, great. Well, I now know that that's a potentially good customer for us. Someone who's the head of marketing, they've just been given a decent sized marketing budget. So you'll want to actually look into the post being made on here to understand, is it the right kind of people that we are actually looking to sell into? Another thing you'll want to do before you start engaging in Reddit communities is start to understand, what are these communities resonating with? One of the most easy ways you can do that is by looking for the comments that have the highest amount of upvotes, which is this number here. So this is basically the community saying, I like this answer, it resonates with me, it's been helpful. So from that, you can then start to get a sense of what kind of answers this subreddit appreciates. Is it humor based? Is it value based? Like, what is that thing that people are resonating with? So you then know when you start engaging on the platform, you have a better idea of how to get noticed and what kind of content people are actually looking for, because this comes into then how to feed the algorithm to get your post viewed more often and start driving more organic traffic to your post and then subsequently to your brand and business. But I'll come on to that more in a sec. So next, just to come on to the basic kind of interface and the rules of Reddit and things you'll want to do before you do start engaging on the platform. So when you've come into any subreddit, so like we've got this advertising one here, for example, one of the things you'll see on the right hand side is the rules of this subreddit. Okay, so you can see here they've got very, very bold straight out the gate. This is not a place to advertise. You will be banned. So you'll obviously want to bear that in mind. You don't want to be posting any links or anything that even feels like it could be advertising. So you even mentioning your brand, you'll want to be very, very careful of that. Now you might be thinking, well, hang on, how am I going to get leads if I can't even mention my business? Don't worry, I will come back to that and I'll show you exactly how. But you always want to be respectful of the rules of whatever subreddit you are engaging in. So you'll want to read the description. What are they looking for in this subreddit? Again, read through some of the existing posts and comments on there to get a feel of the community, and then read the rules very, very carefully so you understand how to engage with this community so you have a chance of your content getting seen. Now, the next most important thing is to understand how the Reddit algorithm works. Reddit basically works on a karma system, which is actually amazing because it really encourages good quality content, and people that don't post good quality content or they leave spammy, useless comments end up just not getting seen, or they just get banned from subreddits altogether, which is great because it keeps it, unlike other platforms like Facebook or Instagram or Twitter, where you can just get a load of junk and things that don't really help people. On Reddit, it's very much value based or focused on what this particular subreddit wants to see. So you then get awarded karma when people what's called upvote or award the comments or the posts that you've done. The other amazing thing about Reddit, and the reason this can be such a powerful channel, is because Reddit does tend to perform very highly in a lot of Google searches as well. So you'll notice here, if I type in LinkedIn ad budget, we've got a Reddit result on the first page of Google about LinkedIn ads budget. And this one is actually a question that I left a comment on, and you'll see here it actually comes up as the top comment because it got so many upvotes. So this was the question that was originally posted. I was just given $12,000 budget for LinkedIn ads. I'm a bit lost. I'm one of 4 marketers for my company. Does anyone have any tips they can give me? And you'll see this is my post that I did here is the first one that comes up because it's had 121 upvotes. It's got all these comments from the community. I feel like I learned more in this comment than I did any of my ad and marketing courses. Fantastic advice. Many marketers will pay you for this advice. This post alone has generated us over 10 leads organically. And this post is actually what's resulted in us signing up our first client from Reddit as well. So I will link to this in the description so you can check this out and get a sense for this. But again, you'll want to get a sense of your subreddits in terms of what, is it more humor based? Is it more kind of detail? Like in this particular, in the marketing subreddit, people want tangible, practical advice. And that's what I've done here. That's why it's been upvoted, and that's why it's got this kind of visibility. So you always want to bear in mind this particular subreddit want to see what does this community value. So it's really important you do your research first. And this really comes down to what I believe is the kind of golden rule of Reddit. And that's to always make sure you are posting whatever your community, whatever this subreddit that you are engaging with, what do they want to see? What do they deem? What does this community deem as valuable? Because if you do that, you're going to get upvotes and your posts will be seen more often, and they can then start working for you. I'll show you an example of where this backfired for me when I did an actual post itself in the advertising subreddit, and it got absolutely torn to shreds. And I'll explain why, and you'll actually see from the comments why. So I made a post in here about how I've audited over 1,000 websites and ad campaigns and some of the things I've learned. And I've listed out 11 very broad top level bullet points of just my general observations. Now you'd think, oh, okay, well, that's maybe a pretty helpful post, but the community didn't think so. And actually the answers explain why. This person here, I think, sums it up very, very well. And this is one of the things I've since come to learn for this particular subreddit. Bring specifics or you'll probably get roasted. And that's really the thing with this community. The reason this community use Reddit, these are very sophisticated and savvy marketers and advertisers. They are sick of broad, generic information they see all day on Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn from these marketing gurus. So they absolutely hate posts like this. What they want to see is tangible, actionable advice to very, very specific questions or problems that they have. Okay, so actually one of the first pieces of advice I will give you, and what I find as someone that's relatively new to Reddit, maybe you don't have much karma at the moment, instead of doing posts and trying to deliver what you think is value, spend your time looking at posts of questions that other people are asking in a particular subreddit and give your comments on those, because that way you can be much more specific, much more practical, and much more tangible in the information that you're giving. And if you are to eventually start doing posts, instead of having them very broad and top level, as a rule of thumb on the platform, and again, you'll want to look at the context of your individual subreddit that you're targeting, but generally you'll want to make the post about a very, very specific thing and make it very tangible. Again, this might not always be, value in this sense of the word, but it might be more comedy based about a specific thing, right? Again, this is where it really comes down to your audience that you're targeting, the subreddits you're engaging with. So now finally, you might be asking yourself, okay, well, this is all great, Tom, but I still don't understand how on earth am I meant to actually generate leads from this, right? If you look at this, there's absolutely no mention of my business, what I do. There's no mention of me even offering any services to people. So how are we getting leads from this? Well, what very often happens is when people see a post that they found really valuable, they will actually click onto your profile. So this is where you'll want to do some basic optimization on your profile. Again, you don't want to make it overly salesy here. That's really important. And this is what people will see when they click onto my profile. So they have a summary of different posts I've done. So again, they can get a bit of a gauge of, is this person really an expert? Do they know what they're talking about? Can I actually trust them? You've also got a little bio section here that you can put in. So again, my one's just a bit of fun as well to fit in with the nature of the users on the platform, part human, part alien, co-founder of Elevate Digital, so they can now see what I actually do, and founder of roastmywebsite.co. That you can then put links here to any of your social channels, your website and things like that. So people can then go through to your website from those channels. And this is what happens when we generate leads. So people will click through to the profile and they either DM me directly, because people can DM you on Reddit. They'll DM me asking for advice, and sometimes I'll get on a call with people from there, or they will just come through to the profile, click on these links, and then they'll fill out an application, book a call, or request a website review from us. I've actually worked with quite a few SaaS companies now who use Reddit very successfully to acquire new users for the platform, and they take a very similar approach where they engage in particular subreddits. So whether that's HR, whether it's a marketing software solution, whatever space they're working in, they engage within those subreddits, give very tangible, actionable, and valuable answers that don't mention their software, but then when people click through to their profile, they can see, what's this interesting software this person has? And they can click onto that and then actually learn more about it. Another way you can do this is you can mention that you have a particular piece of software, but to make sure that it doesn't feel like advertising, you want to try and avoid using any links, mentioning any links in the comment or the post you're doing, or even mentioning the actual name of your brand, because that can come across as advertising and you're going to end up getting downvotes and potentially even getting banned from that particular subreddit. So instead of doing that, you can just inject some curiosity. So in some of my posts, I will occasionally say, for context, I run a marketing agency. Here's what we found. Here's what we tell our clients. So I'm still keeping that post about value, but I'm not mentioning the brand. I'm not saying book a call. I'm not giving any call to actions. I'm not giving any website links. I'm letting people decide for themselves. Okay, these guys seem to be, very forthcoming, giving lots of value. They clearly know what they're talking about. I'm going to make my own decision to click through to the profile and discover who these people are, discover what their website is. You always want to make it so that the user is coming to that decision themselves to find out more about you instead of you making call to actions. This might almost seem strange and counterintuitive because it flies in the face of a lot of marketing advice, but honestly, this doesn't only apply to Reddit. This advice applies to most marketing in general. If people feel like they are coming to a decision themselves to buy your product or service, they are much more likely to do it than if they feel like they're being sold to. This is really one of the most powerful and fundamental principles of any marketing or advertising you're doing. You never want your ads to feel like ads. You never want your marketing to feel like marketing. Instead, it should feel like you're allowing people to come to decisions themselves. So there you have it, guys. I really hope that video has been valuable. If you do have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments section below. And in this next video coming up, I'm going to be showing you how you can also use another forum-based platform, Quora, to start generating traffic, leads, and sales for your business as well. I'll see you there.